Hello, my name is Aman. Today we are going to discuss a small topic in Module 4, Preparation of Project Report and ERP. So, under this module, we are going to take up a small topic, that is Guideline by Planning Commission for Project Report. So, what is this? Guideline by Planning Commission for Project Report mainly tells about how a project report should look before after a product is developed, what and all details it should be included in the report. So these are the guidelines which is given by planning commission. So in order to process investment proposals and arrive at investment decisions, planning commission has issued guidelines for preparing or formulating industrial projects. So this project report becomes important during the investment proposals. So there are some points which are needed to keep in mind while we create or while we develop a project report. The first one is general information. So the report should include an analysis of the industry to which the project belongs to. It basically speaks about which industry the project is belonging to, whether it's like food industry, textile industry, technology, or any other sort of industry. Should describe about the industry to which the project belongs to. So it should deal with past performance of the industry also. So it, so in this part it should mainly contain the description of the type of industry, and that is and it can include points like the priority of the industry, increase in production, role of the public sector, choice of technique used in the project, etc. So the second point is preliminary analysis of alternatives. So this should contain present data on the gap between demand and supply for outputs which are to be produced. So this mainly talks about the gap between the demand for the product and supply of the product. So what is the demand for that product in the market, and the supply for the product in the supply of the product to the market. It should contain a complete list of existing plants in the industry, giving their capacity and their level of production actually attained. So a list of all projects for which letters of intent license have been issued, and a list of proposed projects. These points should be included under preliminary analysis of alternatives. The third point is project description. So as the name suggests, should describe what a product does or what the product is. Should should also provide a brief description of the technology or the process chosen for the project. So what technology is used in developing the product, or what processes are involved, that should be described under this point. So information relevant to determining optimality of the location chosen should also be included. Should include information about the location also. Fourth point is the marketing plan. So after project description, we'll go on to marketing plan. So a good marketing plan should contain information like the data on the marketing plan, demand and prospective supply in each of the areas to be served. So what is the demand and what is the supply in each of the area. The method of the data used, forming estimates of domestic supply, and selection of market areas should be presented. So it should contain an analysis of the past trends in prices. It should contain information about the past trends in prices for that product. Fifth point is the capital requirements and costs. The estimates should be reasonably complete and properly estimated. Information on all items of cost should be carefully collected and presented. So this mainly tells about the cost for creating the product. So what is the capital requirement? It describes all the capital requirement for that project. So This information is presented in the project report. So what information on all items of cost should be carefully collected and presented. Each cost should be, that information should be collected, and then it should be reported. So sixth point is the operating requirements and cost. So operating costs are essentially those costs which are incurred after the commencement of commercial production. So this basically involves those costs which occur after the commencement of the commercial product. So whenever the product is put into the market, then later what and all the costs occur, those cost reports should be collected, and then those information should be included in the project report. So operating costs, so it can relate to cost of raw materials, intermediaries, fuel, utilities, labor, repair and maintenance, selling expenses and other expenses. So these can be the factors which can lead to operating requirements and costs. So the seventh point is the financial analysis. So the purpose of this analysis is to present some measures to assess the financial viability of the project. So the purpose of doing this is to produce the financial viability of the project. It is to check whether the project is being profitable or not. Pro forma balance sheet for the project data should be presented. A balance sheet of the project data should be presented in the report. Depreciation should be allowed for on the basis specified by the Bureau of Public Enterprise. Report must analyze the sensitivity of the rate of return on the level and pattern of product prices. So it should include the pattern of the product prices for the product. So the financial analysis can also be helpful when the investors want to invest in that particular product. So whenever they see this part of financial analysis in the project report, investors can decide whether they can invest on the project or not. Eighth point is economic analysis. Social profitability analysis needs some adjustments in the data relating to the cost and return to the enterprise. One important type of adjustment involves a correction in input and cost to reflect the true value of foreign exchange, labor and capital. So these are the 8 points which we have to keep in mind while creating a project report. So these are basically the guidelines provided by the Planning Commission to create a project report or come up with a project report. That's all from my side. Thank you.